It's turning out to be a perfect day. I just wanna leave our normal lives behind us. So let's get lost out here. No one else out here. Find ourselves out here. Oh, we could disappear into this atmosphere where this water's clear. Yeah, we don't have to go back to what we used to. Rather than stay, make a new life with you. This must be fate, must be a sign. So lost here, lost forever. I love being stuck here with you. Here with you. Here with you. We don't have to go back to what we used to. Rather than stay, make a new life with you. This must be fate, must be a sign. So lost here, lost forever. I love being stuck here with you. Here with you. So let's get lost out here. No one else out here. Find ourselves out here. Oh, we could disappear into this atmosphere where this water's clear. Yeah, we don't have to go back to what we used to. Rather than stay, make a new life with you. Must be fate, must be a sign. This must be fate, must be a sign. So lost It's all the same, like some things never change. I couldn't stop and say no. It's all the same, but you won't take the blame, even when you are blowing up. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna save her now. Oh my, you're my broken love. So come on, let me show you how. Oh my, you're my broken love. Oh my, you're my broken love. It's all the same, like some things never change. I couldn't stop and say no. It's all the same, but you won't take the blame, even when you are blowing up. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna save her now. Oh my, you're my broken love. So come on, let me show you.
You go and camp without remorse, without heart. In your head, you're right, but in my head, you are the bad. I wanna show to the world that you're the bad one. You was being bad. That use all my love, use all my time, use all my heart. You begged me to come with you. I don't know, I'm fine without you. You begged me to come with you. I don't know, I'm fine without you. I'm fine without you. You begged me to come with you. I don't know, I'm fine without you.
Bye.